Federal judge is refusing to stop construction of a new White House ballroom. The judge says preservationists challenging it have failed to meet the requirements to halt the project. The plaintiffs insist President Trump should have consulted Congress before the demolition of the White House East Wing. President Trump took to Truth Social today to tout the ruling and that the project is moving forward.
Yeah, he wrote, "Great news for America and our wonderful White House. The judge on the case of what will be the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world has just thrown out and completely erased the effort to stop its construction. As everyone knows, not $1 of taxpayer money is being spent, but rather all money necessary to build this magnificent building is being put up by patriot donors and contributors. The ballroom construction, which is anticipated to also handle future inaugurations and large state visits, is ahead of schedule and under budget. It will stand long into the future as a symbol to the greatness of America. President Donald J. Trump." This ballroom has because of the Democrats and their animosity toward President Donald Trump, they have made this ballroom something that it's not. It's now not just a ballroom where Donald Trump and every other future president will be able to hold an event, but it's now a symbol of President Donald Trump's victory over Trump derangement syndrome. In fact, he went on today to post another photo, the rendering of what the ballroom is going to look like. And he wrote, "This beautiful building will be, when complete, the much anticipated White House ballroom, the greatest of its kind ever built. It is a rendering from the Treasury building directly across the street and replaces the very small, dilapidated, and rebuilt many times East Wing with a magnificent new East Wing consisting of a glorious ballroom that has been asked for by presidents for over 150 years. Being an identical height and scale, it is totally in keeping with our historic White House. This is the first rendering shown to the public. If you notice, the north wall is a replica of the north facade of the White House, shown at the right-hand side of the picture. This space will serve our country well for hopefully centuries into the future. President Donald J. Trump." Now, what he's saying here, and let me zoom in on this so that you can see it. Now, I'm no architect, of course. I'm no architect, but here's what he's saying. He's saying that when you look at the White House from the south side, right? Because this will be the southern exposure. When you look at the White House from the south side, the ballroom, which will be over here to your left, has the exact same facade as the side of the White House, because the White House has, there's the middle part and then there's the two sides. So it'll look like a natural extension of the White House. It'll just look like, oh, here's another part of the White House. And then as you turn the corner and look at it from what would be, if you're looking, let's see, if this is the south, you're standing to the west part and you're looking at the east. When you see that facade, it will be a mirror of the Treasury building, which is right across the street. So it will blend right into the architecture no matter what side you're standing on. It's an optical illusion. On one side, it looks just like the White House. On the other side, it looks just like the Treasury building. On the other side, I don't know what it looks like because we don't have that rendering, nor is it built yet. But Donald Trump again saying, look, you guys are, first of all, this thing is going to be, first of all, it's necessary. 4 years. And this is something that many presidents have talked about. Not just presidents, but the media, Washington insiders, foreign dignitaries, White House staff. I'm sure the Secret Service had issues. Think about the Secret Service. For years, whenever there was a major event and they didn't have any place to put it, they'd have to put tents. Like the way that rich people put tents in their yard when they're doing weddings and stuff for their rich daughters and sons and whatnot. They had to do that. They had to put tents up, and they had to have the spikes, and they had to have porta potties, and they had to have catering and all this other. It was craziness. It was wild and radical and just zany and out of this world that the White House, that the President of the United States would have to have lawn parties under tents with porta potties for foreign dignitaries when they came to visit the United States of America. It's ridiculous. And that's why every single president has probably complained about it, except maybe Joe Biden, because I don't think he even knew where he was. So Donald Trump comes along and says, we got to build a ballroom. And it's not something that he's going to take with him. It's not like it's a mobile ballroom. He's going to put it there forever, and no taxpayer dollars are being spent on it. It's all being paid for by patriotic Americans, and it'll be there in 20 years, in 40 years, in 100 years. Unless, of course, some delusional Democrat tears it down, which I could totally see them doing. If AOC, God forbid, wins the presidency, if Gavin Newsom wouldn't tear it down, because Gavin Newsom, he's such an elitist. Gavin Newsom likes to think that he's one of the people. Gavin Newsom likes to run around and tell black people, I'm just like you because I got a 960 on my SAT. And he likes to pretend he's just a podcaster and all that kind of thing, but he's not. He's an elite rich kid from California who loves the spotlight and loves the being a socialite. So of course he would leave the ballroom intact, but somebody like AOC, somebody like Pete Buttigieg. Now, Pete Buttigieg strikes me as the kind of guy that likes really good interior design too, so he might leave it alone. Definitely AOC, though. She would tear it down. She would tear it down just out of spite. Just out of spite for the rich people who donated to buy it and build it, and just out of spite for President Donald Trump, who pushed so hard to make it a reality. Now, I'll be honest with you. I think there's some great uses for this ballroom that we're not even considering. Yes, if there's another ice storm or another inauguration that comes in at one of the lowest temperatures ever, like the last one, instead of moving it into the Capitol Rotunda where there's like this much room, move it into the great big beautiful ballroom where there's tons of room. That makes perfect sense to me. If there's a deposition that Hillary Clinton doesn't want to go to Capitol Hill for, instead of having it in Chappaqua, why don't you have it in the great big beautiful ballroom? I think that'd be a wonderful place for a deposition, and you could fit a lot more people in there to watch Hillary Clinton go totally unhinged. I imagine, I don't know, look, if J.D. Vance, my wife and I were just talking about this, if J.D. Vance becomes president, he'll be one of the first presidents we've had in a very, 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 very long time to have small children. I mean, one of them's going to be like a newborn, like 2 years old, 3 years old. He could have birthday parties in there. They could have bar mitzvahs. Wait, I don't think he's Jewish. I don't think he's Jewish. But whatever it is, he could have all kinds of that. What if you got invited to a child's birthday party and it was in the great big beautiful ballroom at the White House? I mean, I for one would go. I've heard state dinners. Think about how many more state dinners you could have. And again, I talk about the security. When you're out in the open, there are all kinds of massive security threats. When you're out on the lawn, there are all kinds of things that could go wrong. But when you're in an enclosed, controlled, secure environment like the White House, then I think a lot more people are going to be a lot more relaxed. And I think a lot more people are going to have a lot more fun. And we're going to have a lot more opportunity for negotiations. We're going to have a lot more opportunity for, positive relationships with foreign countries. It's going to be really exciting. I mean, I don't know that I'm ever going to see it. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't gotten any invitations to the unveiling. I haven't gotten any invitations to the brand new ballroom. I got a couple years though. I got to work on that. Maybe I got to figure out some way to get myself invited to either the unveiling of the ballroom, some kind of state dinner, or one of J.D. Vance's kids' upcoming birthday parties should he become president in 2028. That's probably my best chance. Maybe I'll dust off my old magician gear and hire myself out as a magician to the White House birthday party.